Hi guys, Zoe here, how's it going? Today we're doing a collaboration. Um, it wasn't supposed to originally be me. Simproved was doing a collaboration with this absolutely beautiful, stunning cafe, but the other person dropped out, so she opened it up for anyone to furnish. And I have to admit, when I saw this video up on my subscriptions, I thought, oh my god, I have to have that in my game. It's so beautiful. And then when I found that it wasn't furnished at all, I thought, I have to get involved. It's so great. But take a minute now before we start going into the furnish. Just take in the build. It's so pretty. It's so pretty. But anyway, let's get started. Right, so just a quick glance outside. Now we're doing the till area, sort of coffee area, and I originally see these tables, and I think they're for displaying merchandise. But I thought I'm gonna have to try and make these into tables. I've never seen them before, but they're really good. I think they're really nice. Anyway, I start making this, and then I realize, hang on a minute, there's no place for them to have coffee, like to make it. So I change it up in a little bit. We move it all forward, and we remove that door because we don't need it anymore. Um, these lights I thought were quite industrial, and like Simproved, um, I don't really know what hipster cafes really like involve. I think I've been to some. I'm not entirely sure, but I wanted to make sure I was doing it justice. So I looked up all sorts of different hipster cafes. Um, but she was right in saying that it really seemed like there was an industrial theme to all of them, and so I tried to put that across. So that's what I think those lights fit in quite well, and also these counters and like the chalkboards and the exposed brick and that kind of thing. Anyway, here we're putting in the coffee machines and a cooker. I put in the cooker because I thought that you could make baked goods if you wanted to. I actually move in a sim before uploading this, and I cheat and make her into a level 10 baker, and I make her bake a whole load of goods, and so they're already set up to be sold for you. And if you just want to put this into your game without having to concentrate on if you just want it to be somewhere where your Sims can hang out, then they'll already be for sale, so you can already buy them. I also found out that if you make your Sim make some coffee, but then don't drink them, and let them put them on the side, and they'll have a thing underneath which will say untouched, and you can move them off to the side, and that way you can actually sell them still and put them for sale. So here we are putting these in the middle. I I've actually seen these in. I think they used to be in old-fashioned banks where you could talk to like an employee in the bank and sort out your bank details and stuff. Obviously, they'd be a little bit higher, so you could actually speak through them. But they're very similar, and so I wanted to try and put them in. I think they've also got these in Harry Potter. I'm not sure. But anyway, what we're trying to do here is put in the chairs, but they don't quite clip properly or work properly. So in the end, I actually used move objects and put a table underneath so that the chairs will still clip to it because there's the table there, but we get the effect of these, I guess, stands. But we actually get rid of these we push them off to one side and only have them in one corner. Now for the idea of this, actually Simproof wanted it to be a florist. Joint with the cafe, but for her mall challenge I actually already did a florist, so I wanted to do something different. I didn't want to do the same thing again, and so I did it as a second-hand bookshop, and I thought that they're quite interested in saving the environment and things like that, and not printing off new books when you can read old ones is the perfect solution to that. But anyway, the idea that came behind this was when I was searching up hipster cafes to see what they looked like. I saw a certain cafe where they got a whole load of building crates, and they chopped them up, piled them on top of each other, and dyed them a colour, and then they put books and knickknacks and that kind of thing as a decoration. And I thought it really, really inspired me, because I knew that we had these bookshelves that looked really quite similar, and so I used them and piled them all up onto each other with the move objects cheat, and then I put in those industrial ones on the side, and possibly they could be, you know, those slide along ladders they look a little bit like. But anyway, I think they're quite cool. Anyway, here we're putting in more seating, and I think we moved the tables across in a minute. Back there, I didn't have a chance to say, but next to the coffee station, there was, like, in the corner, just to fill up that area, I put some artwork, and I thought that in a place like this they'd probably support local artists and put up their artwork, and like each month or something, and they swap it round, and I thought that could be quite cool, sort of artist corner. But anyway, we're putting in the old-fashioned lights in here, and actually I take them out right now because they're a bit in the way for actually building. But we put in some coffee tables and things like that in here. I thought this worked out a lot more. It was more spacious. There was more seating area. It felt more communal. But I thought this also looked really, really dark. So in a minute I put in carpet, and I think that might spruce it up a bit. I tried to change the flooring, see if that might brighten it up a bit. In the end, all it really needed was some of the vines that Simproved put on the outside, just on some of the walls. So I ended up doing that. Here's me testing out the carpet, and I think that one I just got rid of. That's the one we actually go for. We don't go for this paint one. I really like these candlesticks, actually. I've never used them in the game before, and I actually think they look really cool, and they fit so perfectly with this, with the mixture between the old and the new. But here we go, putting them on the wall. I couldn't put them so sporadic on this side, obviously, because of the tables, so I just put them in a row. And I also put some by the cash register, because I think that looks quite cute. I did that also in the florist I did for the mall video. But here we go, just putting a sign in this corner and putting up some other signs. And in a minute you'll see, I found when I was looking at a lot of the pictures, they would randomly put up bikes on the walls and on the ceilings, and like loads of other weird objects. So as you can see in a second, I'm actually putting in a little reading corner here where you can buy books, but I put up this poster of a jazz artist, and then I come across this jukebox, and I thought, oh my god, that's going to be perfect for this corner to put up on the wall and stick with this theme. So I do that, and actually what we do is we put them on shelves later, so they look a little bit more supported, because I thought here that they could have been like bolted onto the wall from the back, but I think it looks a little bit better and put together with the column and the shelves. And we put another one of that picture from before upstairs, and we also used the neon signs that I put behind the cash register. I thought that maybe that could be a name of the artist, and that's why it's all over. Maybe that this cafe was named after him, and maybe that was why his picture was there and his name was around, and there was all the jukeboxes and stuff like that. But anyway, it was just an idea. If you want to get rid of them, feel free. But anyway, so we finish up with those jukeboxes, and now we're going up to upstairs, and I thought that these could be maybe second-hand sofas, and people could sit around here on the sofas and go on their laptops and chat with friends, maybe play some Sims. And yeah, then I think we put some... No, we're going back down here. Oh, we're getting the table. Yeah, we put some couple seats here. Along this balcony area, and actually what we do through the middle is we put a whole load of bookshelves with books along the bottom, so that you can actually buy them in game. And when I was getting my sim in here to bake the goods before, I put some books down there ready and set for sale so that you can buy them if your sims come here. Okay, and then we're just putting down some carpets to make it feel a little bit more homely. And then I think we moved to outside. We'll see. Yep, here we are. So here we are moving out to onto outside, and I really like these tables. I love the worn metal around the outside, and so what I do is I really wanted the umbrellas as well, and I wanted a colour that matched the coverings on the windows, and so I layered them up over each other so that you would still get the wood in the middle and the worn metal around the outside, but we could still get the curtains. And I experiment with putting trees up here, and obviously a lot of them are too big. And I think these bamboos look quite nice. But in the end, all that I do is I just get a little bush and I level it up like this, and I put them on top of there. I also put these downstairs, on the little balcony areas downstairs. I think it looks really nice. But there's lots and lots of seating here actually. So a lot of people could come and see here. But yeah, we're just copying those tables down here, and then I think it will be done soon. Yeah, that's it. Okay, well, thank you very, very, very much for watching. And if you haven't subscribed to Simproved, make sure you go over there right now. But here we go onto the screenshots, and thank you very, very much for watching. Hopefully see you again soon.